Hello, how are you doing? I saw something in the news that I want to look at. It's amazing. This is the story. It said, stop constructing unnecessary flyovers. Buhari's government blame Wike Umahi other governors for high poverty rate. Oh. The fact is that, like I've said in my previous videos, I'm not a fan of flyovers. When I hear people construct flyovers, I'm not really moved by it. The reason is that unless I see the flyover and I see that there is an essence for it, there is a need for it. Yeah, because some of these projects, like another used to say, it's an elephant project. So I will be sure it's necessary. Yeah. So when I hear flyover, maybe it serves a purpose. It's going to help connect this place to the other place. I am moved by such. But I hear Wiki has constructed the 12th flyovers. I wasn't really moved. I want to properly peruse the flyovers and see the purpose of those flyovers. For example, if a road will connect this road properly, I don't see any need for flyover on top of that same road again. The flyover should take you to another destination or make it easier. If there's a connecting a link between this road and this road down, why will you link them up again? Unless there is a need, maybe, or you want to, from this particular point, take it to another road. That is how I see things. So I saw in the news, stop constructing unnecessary flyovers. Buhari government blames Wike Umahi other governors for high rate of poverty. Maybe Buhari's government is trying to say this money that is used to build this flyover would have been used for something else. Like I said, I'm not a fan of flyover, but let's see what we have here. The Buhari-led federal government has said state governors are responsible for high rate of poverty in the country. According to a report by Nigerian News, the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Abba, said this while briefing State House correspondents on Wednesday in Abuja in the outcome of Federal Executive Council FEC meeting. And reacting to recently released multidimensional poverty report by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, Abba accused state governors of constructing flyovers and airports and failing to improve conditions in rural areas. The minister said governors have abandoned the 72% of poor citizens living in the rural areas and focusing on the state capital and citizens living in urban centers. Abba said governors prefer to function in the state capitals rather than build roads that will aid farmers in the rural communities to easily take their farm produce to the city. He said, and from our demographic, it shows that the greatest number of our people live in rural areas, but the governors are not working in the rural areas. Right now, 70% of our people live in rural areas. They produce 90% of what we eat, and unfortunately, 60% of what they produce does not get to the market due to post-harvest losses. When we talk about food prices, like I mentioned right now, as driving inflation, prices of food at the farm gates are low. But when you now take it to the urban areas, you find out that the prices are high due to supply chain disruptions, lack of infrastructure to take them there. I think he has a point. Then I think from the federal government side, we are doing our best, but we need to push that rather than governors continue to compete to take loans to build airports that are not necessary, where they have other airports so close to them. Our governors now competing to build flyovers all over the place, and we applaud them. They should concentrate on building rural roads so that the farmers can at least get their products to the markets. And you find that if they do that, and with the new policy in the National Development Plan that talks about taking power to the rural areas, especially of out of grid power that can easily be put, you begin to attract industry to those areas for value addition. Okay, as you can see, like an elder we always say, Milo. You know Milo's corner that I normally feature in our program here. He will say, elephant projects that are not really necessary. I was discussing with him a particular day and I asked him, sir, what will you do if you have the opportunity to become governor of a state? He told me he will start with food infrastructure. That's where he will start. That if you go to areas like America, countries like America, they focus on what the people will eat first before other development. Yes, they are developed, but they started with agricultural development, food infrastructure. Some of these governors are just borrowing and borrowing. They want to build the highest flyovers. But that, and just like the Bible said, these are not the first thing first. There are things that are called first thing first. The stomach has to eat something first. A lot of people are hungry. So, building flyovers are not the first things. These are not the first things. Somebody is building, if you leave Wike, he will build the 40th flyover. But the hungry people there continues to get hungrier. Okay, like this guy is saying, the farmers actually do what, they farm very well in rural areas, but they don't have a means of moving the farm produce. But they don't have a means of moving their farm produce. There are no roads. They are trying to tell the governors, concentrate on these key areas. Like Umahi is building an airport in Ebonyi. It is not bad, but are these the key things? Let it not happen that after building the airport, we'll be begging for people to travel, and you not see people to travel. Building an airport, developing a place is good. They said Ebonyi is good. Ebonyi is so well built. But somebody told me it is only Abakaliki. And Ebonyi is a state that is known for rice farming and other things. But what about movement of farm produce in Ebonyi? Is it as easy as it's supposed to be? So, building the airport, is it the first thing? Airport will come. But should that be the first thing? And a lot of money that would have been used for some certain things in the state is being diverted into building airports or building flyovers. And you see the governors boasting about, I built 20 kilometers, I built flyovers more than you, and it is like a contest of who built more flyovers. So I think there is sense in what this the federal government is saying, even though the federal government has failed on its own part. Yeah, the federal government has failed totally. But there is a sense in what they are trying to say. Or what do you think? Add your comment. Tell me what you think.